And number 14, we just talked about practice. Practice, practice, practice. Nothing works better in achieving success than practice. Whatever it is you want to achieve, you have to practice it. You have to practice it over and over and over again. This you have to do, you do it. Because if you don't do it, no results will come. And this applies to everything in life. Practice, you know how they say, makes perfect. So the more you practice, the better you get good at whatever it is, and then success follows. It's a major part of the currency. It's one of the currencies you have to pay in order to achieve success. And going with practice is training. We just talked about me training people. If you don't go to learn from somebody, you're never going to get good at this thing. Because some people have been doing this for much longer. And so because they've done it for much longer, they've gotten good at it. So you have to ask them, how did you do it? Could you guide me? Could you show me? Can you teach me? You must be ready to be trained. Because without training, you dabble and dabble and dabble. 16, which is sacrifice and be ready to be inconvenienced. That sacrifice is one of those things that put a lot of people off. Oh, you know when they say be uncomfortable with your comfort? Or there's another thing about being a couch potato. And when you want to do something and you just fall back into your comfort zone. Oh, because when I tried it, it was so hard. Stage when we're talking about gold going through fire. That's the fire you're going through. That's sacrifice. That's the fire. That's sleepless nights. That hardest part on the treadmill. That running to the last point of getting to the end of the race. You know how they say the darkest hour comes before dawn. That darkest hour before dawn comes. That's the sacrifice. That's what will get you to that next level. You must sacrifice. You must be inconvenienced. That's what success wants from us. So that's why sleeping in church doesn't do it. That's why paying tithe doesn't do it. That's why praying 10 times doesn't do it. Pouring holy water on your head doesn't do it. And then you start hearing things like, oh, my mother-in-law did something to me. My father-in-law did something to me. My auntie, my wicked grandfather, my wicked grandmother. What is that? Have you paid all these prices to success or to life and you still haven't seen any results? And that's because some person did something? No. I refuse to accept that. I put myself in that shoe. I sacrifice. I commit. I discipline. And these are the prices you pay for success. Down to you. And people have said the only person that can stop you from achieving success is you. And this happens, this involves me too. There are things I still don't remember to, oh yeah, I need to do that. But sometimes when I do these videos, it helps me too. So number 17 is we have to follow rules. We have to follow instructions. We have to follow advice. Now, why is this important? People who have been there on that route, on in that thing you want to go into, somebody's been there. You remember when we said references, and people have done this thing before. You're not the first. And so if you are lucky enough to come across someone who's done this before, and now you're gaining knowledge from them, and they say, do it this way, do it that way. And you say, no, I don't need that. I'm going to do my own way. I hear people say that. You're just setting yourself up for failure. So when somebody who's done something says to you, do it this way, please listen, please learn. Please take advice. And then thereafter, when you've got good, hear the word, when you got good at it, once you're now an expert, you can change things. But nowhere you're still learning. Because there are little hints and tips they're going to give you that will help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. So please take instruction, take advice. It's a prize. It's a price you pay for success. Number 18 is teamwork. And then not everything requires teamwork, but some things do. For example, we talked about a footballer. A footballer doesn't play football all by himself in a whole team. Other people assist him and, support him. But of course, in businesses as well, for a business to grow, there is a team. And for most things in life, team helps to make it work. So if there's no team and you want to do everything by yourself, most times it takes a lot longer. So to achieve success, teamwork helps. And even in your personal things, sometimes you ask questions, you reach out to people, you research. Some people may have experienced that thing before, and they'll help you. And all this will add up to make that team that helps you achieve your success. 19, creativity is so important in trying to achieve success. So, for example, when you're studying in the university and then you've done all this research and you found all these people who did this amazing work and you are referencing them and you're trying to see what they did. Now, if you don't deviate from what they have done, suddenly you are plagiarized. Oh my gosh, you took that person's work and you called it your own. No, you have to deviate from what they've done. You have to do something different. That's what will make your own work individual. So intellectual property, you start hearing things like that. Oh, somebody else did that. That's somebody's intelligence, intellectual property. And especially in the music industry, oh my gosh, I created that beat first. And then I sang that first. And why are you imitating me? And so people start picking on you. Oh, even in writing books. Oh, that person just copied another person and wrote a book and claimed it's their own. So creativity is so important. Part of success. You have to be creative because your creativity, something unique you add to it, something different you bring on board is what will make you stand out. So with hair care, one of the things I had to do, like when I started braiding, I realized, and this I told all my students, braiding has been here forever. It's been here for as long as. But for you to stand out, you need to start adding new things to what has been in place. And some of the things I introduced was coloring, making sure we're not braiding with just the plain black hair extensions. We started creating different designs in the hair. And, suddenly your work is different. If you just stuck to the same old way it was done, nothing will be new. And this applies to food as well. Because I say to people, okay, so this is how they've always cooked this food. Now, remember, when it comes to food, everything is the same. Of course, apart from some things that grows in tropical areas and some that grow in cold areas. For example, tomato is tomato, potatoes is potatoes, yam is yam. So it's how you cook it that makes it the food of, this is how Africans cook potato. This is how Nigerians cook tomato. This is how Spanish people cook tomato. So it's like things begin to change when you do it differently. And that's what creativity is. Just do it differently. And of course, creativity will help you achieve that success really quickly because suddenly you've done it differently from what. And another thing about creativity is because you've gone different from how people have always known it, people want to see that thing. I said to somebody, you cannot make people see what you're doing if you don't give them something to see. Do you see what I mean? So creativity provides us something to see. And when it comes to uniformity, if you keep doing something the same way it's always been done, which you stick to the uniform way of doing it, wear it the same way people have always worn it, fashion, food, hair, anything that is hand-based, creativity really does matter.